I think it should make a great deal of difference because we're able to trace those dogs, and so, you know, all puppies that will be born, not only can we trace where the owners, and if they go stray, then we should be able to put them back with their owners. The one problem I'm still concerned about are those dogs that are bred in the backyards and not officially bred, and bred very often for status dogs and badly treated, and those are the ones we've got to be particularly careful to make sure that they're microchipped also.
But aren't they the exact dogs that you need to be concerned about? And as you say, they are the dogs that probably would slip through the net of this.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where the police need to have powers, and perhaps the RSPCA also, where dogs that are seen to start to become dangerous, especially when they're out and about in the streets, then they are also compulsorily microchipped, because otherwise, you know, it's good to pick up all legitimate dog owners and their puppies and the dogs, but we've got to make sure these people that are breeding their dogs to be dangerous on purpose, that they're picked up also.
Clarissa Baldwin, Chief Executive of the Dogs Trust, what's your response to this idea of the microchipping?
Dogs Trust has been lobbying government for many years to introduce microchipping as a compulsion for all dogs. We're delighted that the government have included it as a package, in the package of measures that they've been talking about. But microchipping alone is not a panacea for all the dog problems, and we've been looking very carefully at what the government have said today in their package about what they think will control dogs, and I'm interested to hear what Neil says. About 60–70% of dog owners already have had their dogs microchipped. They are the responsible people. It is tackling the ones at the other end of the scale, the ones that are being bred in the in flats and houses and just being handed out to people. Let's not forget, though, that dogs are out in the parks with their owners, and if they are out of control, what we'd like to see in this package of measures is something like dog control notices, so that those that have got dogs out of control can be penalised. Unfortunately, the government haven't yet put that in this package of measures, but we will be talking to them more about that.
Well, let's put that right back to Neil Parish then. Why hasn't that been included?
I think it's been difficult to put into the legislation so far, but we're going to have Lord Taylor at an all-party animal welfare group this week, and that's exactly what we're going to be putting to him, because we want to make sure that it's right for legitimate dog owners to have their puppies microchipped, but we don't want to let these people with status dogs who breed them to be vicious to slip the net, and we are very conscious of this, and we'll be putting it to government to try and get some more action on these particular people.
And what about the law? Because at the moment, it's very difficult for somebody to take action if a dog attack has happened on private land, isn't it? Is that something that's being included in these proposals?
Yes, yes, this is going to be tackled because, of course, I think over 4,000 postmen a year are attacked, and we will be able to take action now on private property. This is the first time that has come into England. It's been in Northern Ireland, and I think it's been in Scotland up until now. So this is a step in the right direction, especially with those dogs that are known to be vicious. Sometimes a dog will turn, and perhaps that is very much an accident, but there are dogs that are known to be vicious, and yet people don't keep them under control.
Clarissa, can the problem of dangerous dogs ever really be solved by legislation? Is it something that you can't really legislate to stop, can you?
Not really. I mean, we're very pleased that the government have put in a package of measures to extend the law into private property. So often when you read about these attacks, they are in the home, they are on children that and the dog belongs to the family. This is unacceptable. This is people just being totally irresponsible. And those are the sort of things that this package of measures, if it's worded correctly, should actually help. But there are 8.2 million dogs in this country, and most of them are loving, wonderful pets. And let's not forget that there are just these rogue owners that unfortunately allow the rest of dogs, and the headlines that come out, to be penalised because of it.
And is there any evidence that the number of dogs being kept effectively as weapons is on the increase, or is it just an issue that's been highlighted?
I don't think we've got any statistics for that. We can speculate. I mean, Dogs Trust has a big programme in the City of London with all the major local authorities trying to get to tackle one-on-one with these people. We're having microchipping and neutering campaigns, education and training of dogs. And so many people get a dog and they don't train them properly, get out of control, and that is a large part of the problem that we're talking about.
Neil Parish, just a last question to you. Do you think governments of all colours have been a bit slow to tackle this whole issue?
Yes, I mean, I think there's always been that thing that, you know, an Englishman's house is his castle, and so therefore, you know, we shouldn't have taken action on private property. So I think that was one of the issues that had to be dealt with sensibly, so that, you know, we deal with people that have dangerous dogs, and there needs to be a, you know, where a dog is sort of suddenly turned, then I think that has to be taken more as an exception. So I think we've got this about right. But I also think that, you know, status dogs, vicious dogs, you only have to sort of see the films where gangs have used these dogs to cause injury and even kill people to see that that perhaps almost encourages it. And this is where we've got to clamp down on this criminal element who are breeding and training dogs to be vicious. It's not the dogs that's vicious, it's the people that are training them to be vicious that are the real problem.